morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We are your hosts, Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday and all of the April showers.
Showers of snow, frost, and low temperatures. You may not always be able to count on Mother Nature, but one thing you can count on is that we've got another great show for you today.
In segment 2, 4th grader Sophie Tritz will be here discussing the 4th and 5th grade field trip.
Justina will then be here discussing the Jackson County Career Fair and Construction Expo.
And luckily, spring sports are beginning to have some competition, so Jeb and Garrett will be here with all of the updates.
In segment 3, Molly and Moore will be here interviewing senior Craig Nolting.
And Hallie and I will end the show by peering into the future with Marquette's upcoming events.
And on Friday, April 27th, the sophomore and freshman classes will be doing some Navy peering.
Every 2 years, the freshman and sophomore classes go on an educational and entertaining field trip to Chicago.
The day will begin very early for these high schoolers and their chaperones, as they will depart from Marquette at 5 o'clock a.m.
Their day will then be spent visiting various famous sites in Chicago, including Willis Tower, the Navy Pier, Lincoln Park Zoo, and various shops.
This is such an exciting experience, and both classes are equally excited for the memorable day.
We took to the halls to hear what the 9th and 10th graders are most excited about.
A sophomore said she was most excited about just being in the big city and feeling the rush of it all.
Another student said that they were itching to be back in the big city where the Cubs are.
Yet another student said that they were most excited to be out of dress code and be in the Windy City with their friends as well as their mother.
The Navy Pier, Willis Tower, the Zoo and Aquarium, and the Museum of Science and Industry were common attractions that many students could not wait for.
And besides giving hospitality to Marquette students, what else is Chicago known for? Well, here are just a few fun facts about the city with big shoulders.
Walt Disney, who was born in Chicago in 1901, studied drawing at the Institute of Fine Arts.
The historic Route 66 begins in Chicago at Grant Park on Adams Street in front of the Art Institute of Chicago.
Lincoln Park Zoo, one of only 3 major free zoos in the country, is one of the country's oldest zoos.
Navy Pier once housed a prison for draft dodgers during World War I. Municipal Pier was renamed Navy Pier in 1927 as a tribute to the Navy personnel who served in the war. During World War II, the U.S. Navy used the pier as a training center for pilots. One of those pilots who qualified for military service was George H.W. Bush.
The first Ferris wheel made its debut in Chicago at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. Today, Navy Pier is home to a 15-story Ferris wheel, modeled after the original one.
The Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower, is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere at 110 stories high. Not only that, but the tower's elevators are among the fastest in the world, operating as fast as 1,600 feet per minute.
The Twinkie was invented during the Depression by Chicagoan Jimmy Dewar. The cake was originally filled with banana cream, but because bananas became rationed during World War II, vanilla cream was substituted.
Outside of Paris, Chicago has the largest collection of Impressionist paintings.
Wrigley Field is the second oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball.
Chicago's downtown area is known as the Loop. The nickname refers to the area encircled by the elevated L trains.
And we want you to stay in the loop too. Meet us back here for more Marquette in Motion after these words from our sponsors. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is our guest reporter, 4th grader Sophie Tritz, informing us on the 4th and 5th grade field trip.
On Wednesday, April 25th, the 4th and 5th graders will be going on a field trip to the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium in Dubuque. Students will be taking a guided tour of the Mississippi River Center, a national river center focusing on science and animal exhibits. Students will also participate in an educational experience called boat building and rivet toss, where they will be able to explore the tools and techniques used at the boat set during the boat building industries in Dubuque. Students will use some of the hand tools that made many a watercraft in their day, test their skills at throwing and catching a hot rivet, and watch a real model steam engine operate. Students will also be watching the 3D, 4D movie about Lewis and Clark and their great journey west. For Marquette in Motion, this has been your guest reporter, Sophia Tritz.
Thanks, Sophia. It sounds like Wednesday will be a busy day for field trips. Up next is Justina with the details on the Jackson County Career Fair and Construction Expo.
On Wednesday, April 25th, Marquette senior class will be going to the Jackson County's Career and Hiring Fair located in the Timber Center in Maquoketa. At the fair, there will be over 20 Jackson County businesses in one location. Some of the jobs that are being represented are manufacturing, healthcare, general business, financial services, and construction fields. On Thursday, April 26th, 8 Marquette students will be going to the Portson Construction Expo in Stone Valley, Dubuque from 8 to 1. The students are juniors Jake Kyle, Jeb Schwager, and Tyler Creamer, sophomores Matthew Brinker, Wade Schwager, John McHugh, and Joe Anderson, and freshman Jake Anderson. During the Construction Expo, students will be able to learn about different careers in construction. Portson Construction is a general contractor that focuses on commercial and industrial construction projects. They also self-perform works including concrete, carpentry, plumbing, hydronics, and excavating. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Dunlinger.
Thanks, Justina. Now let's do our own excavating and dig up results from recent sporting events. Here now are the guys with the sports report.
Thanks, Miranda. This week brought about another round of postponements and cancellations for Marquette spring sports.
Monday, the boys and girls golf meet at Prince of Peace was canceled, along with a postponement for the boys and girls soccer games at Western Dubuque.
The golf meet at Maquoketa Valley set for Tuesday was also postponed due to bad weather. And finally, the boys' soccer games against Postville Thursday were postponed due to poor field conditions.
The track teams, however, were able to get a few meets in. First, both the boys and girls teams raced in Tipton Tuesday, April 17th. Here, Caleb Schrader took third in the high jump and long jump as well. Ben Kettman took sixth in the discus and shot put.
Kelsey Gerlach tied the school record in the high jump with 4 foot 4 inches. Paige Lampe took second in the 400 hurdles, and Hallie Kilberg took third in the 3,000 meter and fourth in the 1,500 meter.
The boys had another meet right in Bellevue Thursday, April 19th. Here, Caleb Schrader placed first and set a new personal best as well as a new skill record for high jump, jumping an impressive height of 6 foot 3 inches.
Caleb also took fourth in long jump. Ben Kettman also continued to improve on his personal records and school records, breaking both the discus and shot put records at 38 feet 7 inches and 114 feet, respectively.
Yesterday, the girls' track team traveled to Durant for a meet. The soccer teams traveled to Alburnett, and the golf teams traveled to Central City.
But we'll be traveling back here to give you all those results next week. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Jeb Schwager
And Garrett Krieg
with your Marquette Sports Report.
Thanks, guys. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Marquette in Motion right after the break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now are Molly and Maura interviewing senior Craig Knowlting.
Hi, I'm Maura Tracy.
And I'm Molly Minster. We are here with our senior interview, Craig Knowlting.
Hi, Craig. Could you tell us about the events you're involved in here at Marquette?
I play soccer.
What are you planning on doing after you graduate high school?
I'm planning on going to Hawkeye Tech.
Who has been your greatest role model throughout your time at Marquette?
I guess my mom's been a role model helping me out through school.
What emotions are you feeling being more than halfway through your last semester in high school?
I am, I guess, excited to be moving on, getting done with high school.
Now, for some fun questions, so we can get to know you better.
What is your favorite hobby?
Helping my dad out on the farm.
Do you have a favorite color?
Blue.
Finally, is there advice or a quote you'd like to leave your younger classmen with?
I guess try your best and hardest at school.
From Marquette in Motion, this has been Molly Minster.
And Maura Tracy with your weekly senior interview.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, girls. And now Miranda and I will look ahead.
Monday, there will be a JV and varsity boys and girls golf meet at home versus Midland starting at 4 p.m.
There is a high school boys and girls track meet at Northeast starting at 4:30 p.m.
Also on Monday, there's a boys and girls soccer game at Clinton starting at 5 p.m.
Moving on to Tuesday, the 24th, there will be a boys golf meet at Preston starting at 9 o'clock a.m.
The girls golf meet that was scheduled for 10 a.m. on this day at DeWitt has been canceled.
9th grade orientation was rescheduled for Tuesday starting at 12:30 p.m.
There will also be a junior high boys track meet at Cascade starting at 4:15 p.m. Also Tuesday, there will be a boys soccer game at home versus Postville starting at 4 p.m. This game was postponed from April 19th.
Wednesday, the 4th and 5th graders will be leaving to go on their field trip.
Seniors will be attending the Jackson County Career Fair starting at 1 p.m.
Youth faith formation will be held from 6:30 to 7:30.
Also from 6:30 to 7:30 will be the 6th grade orientation.
And 9th grade orientation will follow, starting at approximately 7:30 p.m.
Thursday will be the Construction Expo.
And there will be a JV and varsity boys and girls golf meet at Wapsie Oaks starting at 4 o'clock p.m.
Also at 4, there will be a boys and girls soccer game at Monticello.
And at 4:30, there will be a high school girls track meet at Marion.
Friday the 27th, the freshmen and sophomore will be leaving to go to Chicago.
And there will be a boys track meet at Maquoketa starting at 5 o'clock p.m.
Next Saturday will be Cole Park cleanup starting at 8 a.m.
And there will be a junior high boys and girls track meet at Independence starting at 9 o'clock a.m. And in news of other independents, you are now free to go as this wraps up the show for this week.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters.
And Hallie Kilberg.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
in motion.